Okay, so it looks like Vidmaier has got away from pole position over Musso. So Vidmaier from Musso, they're leading down through this bumpy section. So really the aim is get through the first couple of laps unscathed. So Vidmaier leading this one with the 1 car from Musso in the 2. The 3 car of Leonardo Valente is 3rd, and Vincent Meertans, the 4 car, was in 4th, but he just pulled an epic wheelie and just hung the car on its rear wing as he got it all sorts of wrong over the TKR double. But Vidmaier still leading this one from Musso. So still watching the 1 car of Vidmaier. Him and Musso looked considerably faster than everybody else in their 2 semi-finals, both of them taking fairly comfortable wins. So seeing if they can make a break for it. Valente looking like he can hang on to the back of them though. So lead 3 have made a bit of a break for it. We're watching Misha Vidmaier lead. So Vidmaier gets a tiny bit of a gap as he just comes down. He's looking braver than anybody else through this bumpy section at the start. He's just coming through the Jeep turn now into the berm. So swings around the concrete berm under the timing bridge. Musso still holding second from Valente. So Valente's made a mistake. So Valente drops back in 3rd. He holds on to 3rd place. It's still Vidmaier from Musso leading this one. Seeing him going through the zigzag section now. See the cars condense as they go into it. Musso up on 2 wheels, but manages to hang on to it. Still watching Vidmaier leading this one. He runs a bit deep into the berm. Musso closes in on him. So we have got, let's have a look, 0.9 of a second between the 2 lead cars. So watching Misha Vidmaier from Germany, Thomas Musso, the Monegasque driver from Monaco, running in 2nd place. So Vidmaier does look to have a little bit more lap speed. He is on a clear lap. He's edging away from Musso. That reflects what we saw in the seeding. In the semi-finals, Misha Vidmaier setting the fastest time from the semi-B. To be honest, it looks like all of his pace is being made up in that really, really bumpy, rutted section. He just looks a bit more confident with the car. So he's running down the hill. Let's drop back a car. We've picked up Musso now. So, no, we were running with Musso, the 2nd place car. So that's the car with the yellow wheels just in the berm now. So we are watching the P2 car. In fact, we're still showing the long view of the berm, so we'll let everybody flow. That's all right, that's not a problem. We'll let everybody flow through. It's a long final. We can cover lots of shots off. So we're running with Thomas Musso at the moment, the 2nd place car. So you see Vidmaier just exiting the shot in front of him. So Vidmaier leading this one from Musso. These 2 have made a bit of a break. Leonardo Valente, running in 3rd place. He's running in a fairly lonely 3rd place, if I'm honest. You see Musso's actually closed down Vidmaier on that lap. So got the gap down to 1.2 seconds. So we are watching the man on the move at the moment, Thomas Musso, trying to close down Misha Vidmaier. Had a bit of a mistake there from Vidmaier, so Musso is right on him. So that section there that Vidmaier is faster on, he's also clearly taking more risks. Some laps they don't pay off. So they come through the Jeep turn now into the berm one more time. So around the berm, let's see what the gap is this time. It was 1.2 seconds. It's visibly much, much less than that. It's 0.4 seconds this time round. So Musso trying to put a move on Vidmaier. They've got a comfortable 1-2. Musso tracking him all the way round. Gets it slightly sideways as he gets on the gas up by the scoreboard. Now back down in through the zigzag section. So this is 1 and 2. Vidmaier's car jumping about all over the place at the rear of the car as he tries to get on the throttle. Hangs on to it. And we've got a change for the lead there. So Vidmaier ran slightly wide. Musso saw that opportunity, dived straight down the inside. So brilliant driving there between these 2. And got a slight mistake there from Vidmaier. Pops it up on 2 wheels. That lets Musso edge away slightly. So that time round, Musso led by 0.2 of a second. I think that's going to come down because Vidmeier's challenging on the strong section of track that he's really strong on. So here we go. Vidmeier tries to get a run on Musso, doesn't quite come off. So a lot of the French fans, or French crowd, seem to have adopted Thomas Musso, the Monégasque driver, as their favourite. He looks like their best chance of victory. So still watching Musso leading and Vidmeier in second. Gap between them a whole 6/10 that time round. So they're coming through the zigzag section. They're going to start heading up towards traffic fairly shortly. We are coming up towards 6 minutes into this final, so we're a few laps away from fuel stops. Musso makes a mistake. Vidmeier's closed right in again. So he is now 4.5 tenths behind. So fuel stops are definitely going to start coming into play probably in the next 2 laps, I would have thought. That,
unless they're going 9 minutes, of course.
Unless they're going for the 9 minute runs or 9 minute stops. So let's see if there's any difference on the strategy. Vidmeier, he's trying to drive a tighter line here than Musso, and when it works, he's taking that gap out, but he's getting closer and closer, and then he's just making small mistakes, and he's losing all that he's gained. Having said that, Musso's just made a bit of a mistake, so Vidmeier still chasing him. So Vidmeier following Musso. He was 6 tenths behind that time, and in fact that's a change for the lead there. So Vidmeier now leads this one from Musso. Coming down through the zigzag section, I think Musso made a little bit of a mistake. Musso challenges again on the inside, and Vidmeier tries to shut him off and pops the wheel up on the curb. They're around the berm now. So Vidmeier now leading from Musso. So fantastic battle going on between these two. They are edging, well, they're more than edging away from the rest of the field. We had a bit of a coming together between them, and it looks like Vidmeier has pitted. So Vidmeier is in the pits. Got a replay coming up here. What happened here? Okay, so we had Vidmeier leading. He landed and hit the hose, and as he cannoned off, he slowed his progress. Musso took his normal line and sort of came across a slow-moving Vidmeier. No one's fault, really. It just Musso collected another driver's or Vidmeier's accident. So we've got Musso leading this because he hasn't stopped. Vidmeier kind of got directed into the pit lane. In fact, Musso stopped. So what we want to be watching is where Musso is and where Vidmeier is. I'm watching
both of them have stopped before 9 minutes. So they are running the 7.5. So they're bringing a 5-stop strategy.
Okay, so yep, sounds like they're both running a sort of shortened, safe fuel strategy. So we are still watching this car coming down now. I'm watching the car of Musso. The car of Vidmeier is Musso's gained slightly out of that, and there's traffic between them. So Musso, the 2 car with the yellow wheels, that's the white and blue car. Looks like an HB car. There's been a mistake there out of shot from Vidmeier, so that's extended Musso's lead. So Hebert was second, but he's a stop behind. So Musso, despite having stopped, maintains the lead. So that gives you an idea of how much of a lead Musso and Vidmeier had. That one of them actually managed to get out from the stops and stay in front. So we're riding with the lead car at the moment of Musso. Now Vidmeier he's got past Hebert, Guillaume Hebert, and he's now back up into second place. So I think Hebert made that relatively easy for him. I think he realised that although they were together, he's not actually involved in that battle. So rather than slowing himself up, he kind of created a little bit of space and wants to focus on his own race. He's still in with a chance of a podium himself. We watch Musso now come round the berm. Fantastic low shot there. You can see the power they get down. So we have Thomas Musso leading this one. He's closing in on the 11 car, I think, to put a lap on him. That's Célian Rousset. So he's now past Rousset. No, in fact, he's not past Rousset yet. So this is allowing Vidmeier a chance to close in. There's a mistake there, which, That would have made the leader breathe quite deeply. And Widmeyer, tries to cover off a mistake from Rousset, and that ends up costing him. So we are still watching the leader, Thomas Musso. He's got a 2.4 second lead over Widmeyer. Let's see if we can drop back to Widmeyer with the one car. I think he's just coming across from Le Marseillaise now. He's coming in through the Jeep turn. He's the sort of blue and yellow car. He's just coming off the berm. So the car that he's closing in on is the 12 car, Elliot Marcon. So they're about to put a lap on him. So a fierce pace being set at the front here. We just ticked past the 10-minute mark. Musso leading by 1.9 seconds from Widmeyer. We're following Widmeyer at the moment in the one car, seeing if he can close down Thomas Musso. Gap visibly looks less than the 1.9 seconds it was last time. Let's confirm as we cross the line. So Musso's crossed the line. Widmeyer now crosses the line. 1.6 seconds, so 3/10. Now there is some traffic in between them, so I suspect that 3/10 may have been Musso getting past the back marker, and Widmeyer is going to have to negotiate him as well, so I suspect that 3/10 that he's gained, he's about to lose. And Widmeyer's rolled it. Widmeyer has rolled it on that the end of that section there, so Musso extends his lead. So Musso's lead has extended. So Musso now starting to come back through the traffic. That is the 5 car. That's Hébert actually. So Hébert is Guillaume Hébert currently running second. I don't believe he had. No, he must have stopped by now. We're 12 minutes in. So I think though he might be on a later stopping strategy. So we are watching. Coming down, I can see Thomas Musso. He's making his way through the traffic quite nicely. Widmeyer having a bit of a tougher time of it, but coming back, and 6 just getting called out of the way. So Widmeyer makes a little bit of a mistake there, and Widmeyer still running in second. So he's got 1.5 seconds between him and Musso. So keeping an eye on where Musso is, we can see on the screen Widmeyer. So you will see Musso just disappearing out of your shot. That's the blue-fronted, pink-reared car with the yellow wheels. There's 2 cars between them. They're both lap traffic. So gap is now 2.5 seconds between Musso and Widmeyer. So Widmeyer trying to close that gap down. He could do with getting past this traffic fairly quickly. It's not the best section of track to have caught them on. So one of them's very, very kindly got out of the way. That's good of him. He was involved in a battle himself. I know the ref requires you to do it, but even so, it's still very good for him to dive out of the way and sacrifice his own battle. So gap is coming down all the time. So it's Widmeyer's got that down to 1.6 seconds now, that gap. So Widmeyer pressing on, trying to close down Musso. Widmeyer now clear of that, so the car directly in front of Widmeyer is Musso now. So there was 1.6 seconds between them that time round. Widmeyer did have to clear traffic, so let's see if he can close in on Musso at all. They're through the Jeep turn. Here comes Musso over the line. That was an excellent bit of reactive driving, and there's a mistake there from Musso. So just caught the curb. He caught a whiff of Musso's rear wing, and he's stopping. So he is pitting. Widmeyer is pitting. So Widmeyer is in the pits and is back exiting the pits now. So this is the 1 car. He was very enthusiastic on the throttle there, I think, coming out the pits. We are heading towards the 15-minute mark already of this final. So Widmeyer definitely going for the sort of 7.5 minute stops, somewhere around that area. It may kind of work for him because he's about to catch a bunch of traffic that Musso's got himself snared up in. So they're separated on the track. I'm just trying to pick out where Musso is on the lap. I'm just seeing him, he's dropping down, he's across La Marseillaise now. So this is your leader. So the leader just coming through the berm now on his own. So let's pick him up. as he crosses the timing line. So the leader is due a stop. We think pretty much any lap now. In fact, here he comes into the pits now. So let's stay with the leader as he comes into the pits. So this is Thomas Musso. In goes the fuel gun. Bang, off he goes. So there's a clean exit from the pit. So what we are looking for is, where is Widmeyer? And Widmeyer is absolutely miles back. So that has not worked at all well for Widmeyer. It's worked really well for Thomas Musso. He's extended his lead. We'll have to wait for this lap to play out to see where it is. Musso he's still showing in the lead. I think actually Leonardo Valente will have taken the lead briefly. But effectively, this battle we're watching will be the one for the lead. So it's Thomas Musso's HB racing car. Heading round under the timing tower now. Down through the zigzag section of the circuit. Really, really bumpy. His car looks like it's laying the power down nicely. He goes down the step down over La Marseillaise. Going around through the Jeep turn up into the berm. Thomas Musso, the leader, crosses the line. Now coming round over the TKR double and off down the EFRA straight. Misha Widmeyer has closed the gap slightly. It is now 4.2 seconds. So let's keep an eye on that gap. We're still running with Musso. Valente has made his stop and is some sort of 12.9 seconds back. In fact, there's a good battle going on for third and fourth between Valente and Ibert. So that's the 3 and the 5 car. So we'll see if we can spot those as well, because there's not a huge amount of track between them. So we're looking for the 3 and the 5 car. Here comes the 3 and the 5. They're in the berm now. So one of them is a very Italian flag-esque. Green fronted, white centre, red rear car. Second one is sort of blue and yellow car with yellow wheels. So we are watching the battle for third and fourth at the moment. Musso away at the front, relatively safe, so we'll keep an eye on where he is. But we're watching this battle between the Italian Leonardo Valente and Guillaume Hebert, the Frenchman, in fourth place at the moment. So Valente holding on quite nicely. They're about to catch car 9. So the car 9 of Joao Lopez is lap traffic. He'll be called out of the way by the ref. Just keeping an eye on that lead gap. It's down to 2.5 seconds. So there's no traffic between them. So I think we might be wanting to pick up the car number 1, who's just coming underneath us now. So car number 1 is off of Misha Widmeyer. He's just at the end of the EFRA straight, so he is now trying to close down that lead that Thomas Musso had. It's 2.1 seconds this time round, so Widmeyer is on a charge to see if he can close down that gap to Thomas Musso. Thomas Musso got the fastest lap of this final, a 31.6. Got a mistake there from Widmeyer. So all of that gap that he gained, all of that hard work that he'd done, that's dropped off. He's just lost all of that. So 3.4 seconds back now. So let's stick with him and see if he can start closing this down. See how they go through the zigzag section. We're watching the second place car of Misha Widmeyer. He's got no lap traffic in between him and Thomas Musso at the moment. So watching Widmeyer try and close down on Musso. It was 3.4 seconds. Let's see this lap round. 2.4 seconds.
But he made a mistake at the timing, Luke. So
okay, so looks like Musso...
Pretty much neutral, I think, that one.
Okay, so that one has sort of equalised itself. We're still keeping an eye on where Musso is relative to Widmeyer. See Widmeyer drops down the ABC drop-off over La Marseillaise. Now down through the Jeep turn into the berm. You can just see Thomas Musso exiting that shot. So we're still running with Misha Widmeyer. 1.7 seconds the gap now. So he's definitely closing. Misha Widmeyer definitely has some more pace. Also in front of that we can see that Thomas Musso, he's catching some traffic. So that traffic getting out of Musso's way very nicely. Unfortunately Widmeyer catches him right in the middle of the zigzag. He does jump out of the way as best he can, but there's no traffic between them at the moment. So Musso leading from Widmeyer. One of the cars comes to an absolute halt to let Musso go. And here comes Widmeyer about to pass that same car. It's the 11 car of Celian Rousset. I think that came to an absolute halt on the circuit. So still watching these two coming down the hill. So Musso's got a little bit of it. Musso's rolled it. Musso's rolled it. So we have, let's have a look at that. Okay, Widmeyer has taken the lead now. So the one car leads from the two. So we are watching here the battle for the lead. So Thomas Musso there, just he's rolled it, and now okay. So there's a mistake from Widmeyer. So Musso back in the lead, and Widmeyer takes that as his opportunity to pit. So we are watching Thomas Musso on the screen at the moment. So we'll stick with him because he's bound to be due to pit shortly. We are over 20 minutes into this final, so we're approaching half distance. We're sort of coming up to 21 minutes in of this 45-minute main final. Widmeyer leading from Musso. It was 0.3 of a second across the line. It's going to be quite dramatically different this time round.
That was a very early pit from Widmeyer.
It was. I think that was prompted by his mistake.
He must have a lot in reserve there. If he stops after 6 minutes, which he did.
Yeah, I think what he's done is...
Have to go long the rest of them.
He's made a bit of a mistake and ended up on the pit lane, and then rather than trying to drive out of it, he decided to sort of run down it as he was roughly in his window. They were also in quite a lot of traffic there, the two leaders, so actually by getting himself on clear track, it's probably giving him a fairly good opportunity. So Musso just about hangs on to it after putting a wheel on the hose. Lifts it up onto two wheels, just steers out of that. So we're watching Musso leading this one. He's got a comfortable lead over Misha Widmeyer of 11.7 seconds at the moment, but we want to stick with him because when he stops, which will be, I would estimate, in the next 3 to 4 laps, then we will see where he pops out relative to Misha Widmeyer. So just watching Musso coming round, we want to stick with him through this pit sequence, I think. Widmeyer is certainly on clear track, so Musso is in the pits. So we have our lead car in the pits. So there we go, in goes the fuel gun. Straight out of the pit lane again. So he exits the pits and gets a massive air over the sleeping policeman there. So he's maintained his lead over Widmeyer as Musso. We'll see how big the gap is as they come round this lap. So who's that car with him? Is that Widmeyer? No, Widmeyer's one car further back than that. Okay, so that is lap traffic. That's the 10 car of Joachim Callan. So we're watching the leader at the moment. If we drop back 2 cars to the car just on the EFRA straight now, that is your second place man, Misha Widmeyer. So 3 seconds. So let's stick with Widmeyer as he tries to close down that gap to Musso. So great battle for the lead going on here. Aaron Munster from winning the last chance, he's now showing in P3. He's 16 seconds off the lead, but he's making great progress through the field. So he had a fantastic race earlier and just made it on the line. So we are watching, though, the car of Misha Widmeyer as he tries to close down the leader, Thomas Musso. These two, 1 and 2 on the grid. Both of them dominated their respective semi-finals. And looking the most likely to win, these two. Just feeling a few spots of rain on my hands. Don't think it's going to develop into anything more. Sky looks fairly clear. Still watching Musso plough his way through the traffic. So he's... sorry, that was Widmeyer. We're watching through the traffic.
Bad lap last lap as well. He had an accident.
He did.
So
Musso is now leading this one pretty comfortably, to be honest. He's got a 6.3 second lead. So just seeing if there are any other close battles going on. So we're watching Misha Widmeyer heading down the step off. Definitely a few more spots of rain. Don't know if that is going to turn into anything. So Misha Widmeyer giving this absolutely everything he's got. He's pulling an endo across the start line. He got that kind of wrong through the T-card double. He had to take that as single. because of his approach. We're over half distance into this race, just coming up to the 20-minute remaining mark. Thomas Musso leading by 6.2 seconds from Misha Widmeyer. Vincent Meertens now, the top position in qualifying, fourth place starter. He is currently running in third place, but winner looks like it's certainly, with barring any mechanical failures, is going to come from either Thomas Musso or Misha Widmeyer, unless these few spots of water that we're feeling do turn into a full-blown rain shower. Still running with Widmeyer, gap is still 6.3 seconds, so it's fairly constant. Meertens 23 seconds back, and then Sebastian Winterstein sort of some 2 seconds behind him. Probably the closest battle on track at the moment. So let's see if we can find the 4 and the 7 car. So there's some 2 seconds between them. So the 4 car, Vincent Meertens, in third place at the moment. So here comes the 4 car, just round the berm under the timing loop. So we're watching the 4 car. This is Vincent Meertens. As we go off down the EFRA straight, you'll just see it in the back of shot, just appearing. No, I think Winterstein made a bit of a mistake and actually dropped back on that lap. So Musso's still leading this one. And we are not seeing Widmeyer make any massive progress, though the gap now down to 4 seconds. Definitely starting to feel more moisture in the air. So Meertens actually now looking fairly comfortable. So I think having sort of put his hammer down, he's pulling away from Winterstein. So I think we want to be trying to pick up the number 1 car of Widmeyer again, as he bids to chase down Thomas Musso. So here comes the 1 car now. He is just going down the EFRA straight, having negotiated the TKR double. He's just under the timing tower now. Musso already into the zigzag section, coming out of the middle of it. So we are watching Misha Widmeyer, the number 1 car, your pole sitter. He comes over La Marseillaise through the Jeep turn. Round the berm, it's 3.7 seconds that time. Had a problem for the 6 car, who looks like he's being returned to the pits. So there's 1 bit of traffic between them, and Widmeyer pits. So Widmeyer pits again. So he's running really short, isn't he? I think he's going to do an extra.
That was 7.
That was 7 minutes, was it? Okay.
But he should do it in 1 more. I don't think he's got to do it in 1 more stop, and that's going to be hard.
That's going to be difficult.
Minutes,
I think. Well, we haven't seen him run that long yet.
If he ends up needing an extra stop, it's because he made that out of sequence stop when he decided he was going up the pit lane. So who knows? But it's not looking brilliant for him. It's
not looking fantastic. So actually, this position is looking better and better for Thomas Musso.
He's 2 minutes ahead of when he should have taken it.
Yeah, so it looks like we think Misha Widmeyer, it's technically possible to do sort of 17 minutes on 1 fuel stop, but it would go against everything we've seen so far. He's been stopping at around the 7.5 minute mark, and he did a stop at the 6 minute mark. So we think that actually he's going to have to do an extra 2 stops to get to the end. So Musso should, if he stops somewhere around the 15 minute mark, who, let's see if we can find the lead car number 2 will be out there somewhere. He is negotiating. Let's just see where the 2 car is now.
Just coming around the berm in a second.
Okay, he's just here we go. So here's the 2 car of the leader. This is Thomas Musso we are watching now. So Musso over the TKR double. So he's gone past the 16 minute mark, so that would get him 2 8-minute stints. So we're certainly into the realms of the possible. This next stop he's doing plus 1 more. Remember, we believe Misha Widmeyer has got to do an extra 2 stops, although Widmeyer has now 9.3 seconds back. And we think they've both got 2 stops to make. So it's actually looking better and better for Thomas Musso. So very controlled drive. Heading towards the 15-minute mark. That will be the 2/3 distance. So Musso heads down the drop-off now over La Marseillaise.
The only problem he's got is that Vidmar's gained 3 seconds on him since the pit stop, since Vidmar's pit stop. So he's actually got at this phase, Vidmar's got a lot more ground speed. Whether it's enough to make up a pit stop, who knows?
I'm not sure on that one. I mean, I'm keeping an eye on where Vidmar is on the circuit. Is that Musso's in? So Musso pits. So this is his penultimate stop, we believe. So he is out of
there
the.
He goes
oh
no,
he's over. No, he lands back on his wheels.
And Vidmar's taken the lead, and he's made another mistake.
Taken the lead, and Musso has
made a double
got
mistake
inside the hoses.
Vidmar is definitely in the lead now.
Vidmar is definitely leading that one, yeah. And I think there was a very generous marshal there. I would imagine, looking at his blue T-shirt, he may well be French.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Yes, Thomas Musso made a little bit of a mistake there, and the marshal very generously put him down on the other side of the hose to where he left the track. He certainly didn't gain any time, but he didn't lose quite as much as he could have done.
He's 4.5 seconds back from Vidmar, and he's not shown the ground speed to catch him up, but who knows?
Well, we think that Musso has 1 stop left to do, and we think Vidmar has got 2.
Yeah, exactly, yes.
So that 4.5 seconds, we're watching Musso now. So it's 4.5 seconds. So Vidmar needs to get the hammer down now. So that mistake there for Musso has cost him quite seriously, exiting the pit lane. Obviously, though, exiting the pit lane is fraught with danger, and if Vidmar's got to do that twice more, Musso only has to do it once more, then that's twice the opportunity to make a mistake for Misha Vidmar. So let's see if we can find the leader on circuit. I think he's just coming round up through the Jeep turn into the berm now. Yes, there is the 1 car. So we're watching the 1 car now just coming under TV tower over the T-car double and off down the EFRA straight. So this is the lead car. Gap to Thomas Musso, 5.1 seconds. So pit stop takes around
8.
We've been finding. So at the moment, we think
obviously
Musso,
if you don't crash on the exit.
Yeah. So we think Musso will still just about come out in the lead, but Vidmar is lapping faster. So this is all heading towards what could be a fantastic battle, with the pit strategy getting Musso out in front about 4 minutes from the end, a couple of seconds in front of Vidmar, with Vidmar lapping faster. So
Vidmar is lapping over a second a lap faster than Musso has done for the last 10 minutes, and I think that's just too quick for Musso. He needs to find more ground speed, or Vidmar's going to have to make mistakes, because even with he's virtually got a stop in hand, and we don't even know if he has to make an extra stop.
No, so they've both definitely got at least 1 stop left. We believe Vidmar's got an extra 2 to make. Certainly he hasn't showed the pace to, the duration to make it thus far in the meeting. But we are watching Vidmar at the moment as he goes down through the very, very rutted zigzag section.
Picked up another, 7/10 in that lap.
Yeah, it's up to 8.3 seconds now, so Vidmar looking more and more comfortable. So Vidmar powering away now. Lap 59. Musso checks it that lap. He's on 7.7 seconds, so I think Vidmar might have made a small mistake.
No, it's a good lap from Musso, 32.6.
Okay, so quick lap from Thomas Musso. So maybe he's realised what's going on, and maybe he's sort of felt he was relatively safe and was cruising, and has now realised that Misha Vidmar is in fact a danger to him, even if he has to make an extra stop. So maybe Musso...
And he is there, 'cause he's coming in. So Vidmar comes in. He won't make 11 minutes. This is the extra stop.
So here's Vidmar's extra stop. We are watching as he exits the pit lane. Does he get out cleanly? He does.
But just behind, I think.
So let's see where these two are. They've both got 1 stop to make. And, yeah, I think this is going to play out very, very close between the 2 leaders. I can see Musso. There is traffic between them. And there's Vidmar. So, mistake there from Musso. So Vidmar, right, the 1 and 2 are right together as they come through the berm. So, right, okay. Right, so Vidmar made a mistake. Musso drove into him, and the two cars disappeared off the top of the berm, tangled together. Musso comes out of that in the lead from Vidmar. We think Vidmar has got a quicker car over a lap. Vidmar just tags Musso and backs out of the throttle. So the car's weaving about all over the place as they're dropping down the hill. Still keep feeling this occasional spot of rain, which would be all that we need as we're into the final 10 minutes of this event now. So Musso still leading this one from Vidmar, both with one stop left to make. So Vidmar trying to find a way past Musso, gets better drive off down the EFRA straight. Can't find his way through. Oh, he puts a fantastic move on Musso. So just as they went under the TV tower. So that's a great move from Misha Vidmar. Then he gets it wrong, and Musso actually stops and waits.
For a bit.
For a little bit.
For enough. No, he's let him through.
For enough, he's let him back through again. So, yeah, that was pretty generous, I think, of Musso.
No, the ref was telling him.
Okay.
I'm not having a go at Musso, but the ref was, you can hear the ref telling him.
Okay, so couldn't hear that going on, but okay, so Musso stops and lets Vidmar back through. So now Musso tries to put the power down. There is definitely more moisture in the air. Definitely
he's upside down. They're
both crashed.
Upside down and crash.
So both upside down and crashed. And who's got away from that first? Let's have a look. I think Musso has got away from that one first. So
what happened?
Let's have a replay. So what happened? Vidmar rolled over, and I think Musso went for the gap on the inside and parked it against the hose. There wasn't a car width there. So we are still watching Thomas Musso leading. There's the 12 car in between them. They're packed in a gap of traffic now. This is also, not sure if we're seeing it on the lens, but there is definitely rain starting to fall. I don't think it's going to turn into a full-blown rain shower yet, but it may start affecting their lap speed around the circuit.
Might dampen the dust down, hopefully.
So Musso leading this one by 1.1 seconds from Vidmar. So we're following the car of Vidmar at the moment. He's right back with Musso, so it's much less now than with 8 minutes to go. So Musso with the yellow wheels in your shot, still leading this one from Vidmar, the one car.
Musso will be stopping soon because he's coming to 7.5 to go, whereas Vidmar won't go until about 3 minutes left.
Well, Vidmar could stop at any point now.
He could do.
If it's suitable. But yeah, we think it's going to be about 3 minutes left. To be honest, this would be a good time to stop as they're catching traffic. So Musso being very defensive. So Musso stops. So we are following Musso into the pits. So this was our leader. So Vidmar has gone away in the lead. Let's follow Musso out. Does he get a clean exit this time? He's got a clean exit from the pits, I believe, but he is leading that gaggle of traffic round. So Vidmar is on clear track. So let's stick with Musso. So we've got one car, the 5 car being called out the way. So Musso, he's cleared all the traffic now, so he's got clear track in front of him. So just watching, seeing where Vidmar is on the circuit. Just seeing if we can spot Vidmar out there. Okay, Vidmar is just going into the berm now. So Vidmar is in the berm now, and Musso just dropping across the Marseillaise.
Is that a pit stop?
So Vidmar now with traffic. So let's see when Vidmar, he hasn't pitted yet. So
it'll be a shorter one as well. He won't need a full fill. He won't need a full fill. But most of the time it's wasted by going up and down the pit lane.
Yes. Yeah, with a fuel gun. Is that Musso in again? Musso's gone in again, and he's braked it.
Oh, he's got a drive-through.
He's got a drive-through penalty. Okay, so something went wrong for
could be
Musso.
It. Musso gets a drive-through penalty. Not quite sure why. Perhaps it was quite a messy exit from the pits, but he's got a drive-through, and that's going to change the complexion because now, effectively, we have an actual lead even after the stop of 5 or 6 seconds.
So Vidmar is in.
Vidmar.
Vidmar is in the pits. So let's see if we can
pick up Vidmar in the pits.
Pick up Vidmar in the pits. So we are watching Vidmar. He exits the pits now. So this is the leader. So all the stops have shaken out now. That should have been the last stop for Vidmar. So he's now got a fairly decent lead. So we have got 5 minutes 20 remaining. So Vidmaier leading from Musso. It was 16 seconds, but that's going to come right down because Vidmaier did stop. So I think that's going to be more in the region of 7 seconds or so. So Musso, Vidmaier's crossed the loop as we reach the 5 minutes remaining mark. So just waiting for Musso to come across the line. 7.5 seconds. So Misha Vidmaier now in a pretty comfortable position. Well, as comfortable as it can be, leading a European B final. European B A Main Final. So Vidmaier round the berm now as he's negotiating traffic.
Richard Lewis is saying his mechanics didn't put Musso didn't put him down clear of pit traffic, so basically it was unsafe release in an RC format.
Okay,
he dropped the car on someone else's car, so thank you, Richard, for that one. Unsafe release.
So there we go. That explains the penalty for Thomas Musso. I would imagine that may be a fairly silent car journey with his mechanic on the way back to Monaco later tonight.
You can make Monaco, and it's only about 5 hours away.
Yeah. Although from Monaco, you think they may have a jet or something.
Helicopter.
So Misha Vidmaier, we are watching leading this into the final 4 minutes.
Musso slightly gained that last time round.
He has. It's down to 6.8 seconds. So the gap has come down. Everybody else is fairly well spread out throughout the field. Vincent Mertens is currently occupying 3rd place. But Vidmaier and Musso are the pair that this has really been all about. We probably could have predicted that. They both won their semi-finals fairly dominantly. Misha Vidmaier set the fastest of the two of those from the B semi. And despite making an extra stop, although that extra stop's cancelled itself out with the pit lane penalty for Thomas Musso. So we're watching Misha Vidmaier heading round now, round the berm. He's under the timing loop, past the TV tower, over the TKR double. He's off down the EFRA straight. Under 3 minutes to go now, so he's just counting the laps off. Under the timing tower, through the zigzag section. Gap seems to have stabilised at 7.2 seconds. I don't think Musso's completely given up the chase, but barring any absolute disasters, Vidmaier is looking pretty comfortable. Even if Musso can take a second a lap out of Vidmaier, it's not going to be enough as we're heading towards the 2 minute mark. Taking just over 30 seconds for a lap. Somewhere in the 32 second region. So there's 3 to 4 laps remaining. So car 10 just being called out of the way for the leader. So this is still the leader, Misha Vidmaier, that we're running with. So Vidmaier across the TKR double down the EFRA straight, 1 minute 40 remaining. Just counting down the laps. Someone's cut being rushed back to the pits and he's dropped on the circuit. That's off screen. 10 is he's not being very friendly here to Misha Vidmaier. Eventually he gets the message and pulls on the anchors and gets out of the way. So we're still watching Vidmaier with less than 1 minute 30 to go. Gap over Musso now 12.8 seconds. So Musso obviously had a scruffy lap somewhere. So I think what's probably going to happen here is Vidmaier is actually going to make it through for an extra lap that Musso will not. So Vidmaier is probably going to have 2 laps at the end of this one as he makes it through. So he's down the step down, across La Marseillaise, through the Jeep turn, round the berm, under the timing loop. Misha Vidmaier looking very, very comfortable. Fantastic performance from the junior driver. Started from P1. Thomas Musso's given him a bit of a fright, but he's done absolutely everything he needs to do. Musso some 13.5 seconds back. So we're going to see Widmeyer with 20 seconds remaining. I think we're going to see Widmeyer make it. Widmeyer will definitely make it across. Don't think Musso will do. So
No,
here
it's
we
a victory lap. This is. He's won it.
So, yeah, this is going to be a victory lap for Widmeyer, for Misha Widmeyer. We're going to hear the horn any second now. So Misha Widmeyer does actually take the win there. Thomas Musso cannot do anything about him now.
He's having a terrible last lap.
He's just crossed the line, and I believe his car's cut. So, no, he's just crept forward, but he's right. Oh, sorry, right, okay. Saw what happened there. Musso realised that he had finished.
Widmeyer has crashed 5 times in this slowdown lap.
It doesn't really matter, but
No.
it does not really matter. No, I think Thomas Musso realised he was in front of a bunch of cars that were battling and stopped and let them go, realising he couldn't do anything about Misha Widmeyer. So fantastic win there for Widmeyer. So now everybody has finished. Let's just get a look at the final results. So Misha Widmeyer takes the win at the end of 45 minutes. The only one to make that extra lap from Thomas Musso. Vincent Meertans from the 4th spot takes P3. Leonardo Valente, so top 4 showing their form. Great run from Aaron Munster, who made it in from the last chance. He comes home 5th. Then Guillaume Ebert